tuned into the show
that informs, improves, and inspires racers everywhere.
The Northwest Race Report. And now, here are your horsepower and performance hosts, Terry Bridges and Glenn Lippy Tower. Oh, what is going on, racers? First thing we got to do today, we got to check to see who P1 is. We got him coming in. P1 is Dan Watkins. How is that? For Matt Strebe in the second spot. Jason Suchich is third. Scott Keeney fourth. Jeremy Means. All right, flags in the house. And he's not bad. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's fifth. He's got top five. A Squinny in the house? What? No way. Brian Esquinia? Is that you? Blue Line Graphics? Wow, awesome. Hey, I'm Terry Bridges. I'm your horsepower and performance host. And sitting in with me tonight is one of our great co-hosts, the new co-host, but he's not really new now. He's been here. Double M, Mike Michelson. What's up, buddy?
Oh, it's just going good, Terry. Glad to be here, as usual.
Absolutely. You guys are probably all wondering where Lippy is. Lippy is out tonight. He is he's slaughtering turkeys. He's slaughtering his turkey and his hen. So that's where he's at. He'll be back next week. But yeah, that's where he's at. Slaughtering hens. That doesn't sound like that doesn't sound real fun to me.
No, it doesn't.
But I get it. He's got to do it. He's pretty. Well, how do I say this? Lippy's kind of he's an earthy dude.
Very.
You know, he's into it. And so he'll be back next week. We miss him, for sure. You don't really realize how much, you know what I mean, kind of.
Very true.
But, hey, but Double M is in the house. You had a pretty solid weekend, dude.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
I had a good weekend.
Absolutely. And that's the main thing you had. Well, I hope you had fun.
Oh, always have fun.
Yeah.
And it's getting better.
Is it?
You know, it's faster than last week, so
yes.
That's always the plan, right?
Yeah, I personally, I thought you looked really good. But we're going to get more into that. But Lippy is taking care of some, he's doing his hens and stuff, so he'll be back next week. We do have a great show for you tonight, though. Going to talk about, I'm just going to give you my take on rules and enforcement. And I'm sure Mike, because of his dad, who was Jim Michelson, Portland Speedway tech guy and the Northwest Tour, those of you who remember that many years ago. So I'm sure he's got some good feedback in there, too, as well. We got some results from Salem. We got some results from Monroe. We got some results from Patriot Speedway. We got some new UAS news going on. And our two Blue Line Graphics in the seat guests are Stewart Sheridan, who is the president of the USKRA. Some of you may or may not have heard that. And I've got some interesting facts on that. And Mikie Clark, winner of Saturday's LO206 event at Salem Speedway. He's an up-and-coming young wheel, and we're looking forward to talking to him.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got some questions.
Yeah, we do, absolutely. So, man, how's the week been?
It's been good. You know, work anyway for me is holidays are busy, so we're already ramping up for that. So, unfortunately, I got to work Saturday, so I'm going to be missing out on racing. So,
well, how come Pepsi doesn't get behind you, or Columbia Bottling, or whoever you work for?
It's a family-owned bottler, and they're just not real free with the pocketbooks when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I get that. I know. It's still tough. But
I get free beverages sometimes. So.
Do you?
Yeah.
Are now they a beer distributor too?
So actually we are. They owned they started another company that's a beer distributor, and we've actually merged. So we are going to be doing some beer here real soon. So that makes me happy.
That's awesome. And I just wanted to say tonight's show does not go on without the great folks at O'Hagan's Kart Supply, True Tech Automotive, Scott Sealcoat, and all you guys. I mean, you guys are what keep it happening. So, yes, indeedy. And I think, let's. What do you say? Should we get to it?
Yeah,
we should get
absolutely.
To it?
Let's
right.
do it.
Well, tonight's Winter Circle Wednesday is brought to you by True Tech Automotive, home of the Racer Family Discount. Bring in your car, truck, or tow rig. Mention it. that you heard it on the Northwest Race Report and received 25% off your labor for any repairs or preventative maintenance. Keeping it in the family, True Tech Automotive. Stop by and like their page on Facebook. Well, lots going on, guys and gals. I'm going to tell you, it was, let's see. Well, Monroe was going on, Salem Indoor going on. And then we had the final Strebe Speedway final results. They've got an interesting deal there. He keeps great stats, Matt Strebe does. And if you've seen his webpage, you know that he is all over it. And I thank him dearly for all the stuff he sends me. But guess who your Strebe Speedway final season championship driver is?
Well, I have it in front of me, so I don't have to guess, but it doesn't surprise me.
The Rocket, Ronnie Cox, is your 2016 Strebe Speedway Kart Tour driver champion. Wow. So congratulations to the Rocket. That's the team of the 9 and the 62. The 2016 kart owner for the Strebe Speedway Kart Tour, Nick Hall and Matt Strebe from Strebfest and Hall Motorsports. Actually, this would be Strebe Fest and Hall Motorsports because it's not, I always say Strebe, but it's, or Strebe, but it's Strebe.
Gotcha.
And the Strebe Speedway Kart Tour Rookie of the Year goes to Clint Mines from Cedro Woolley, Washington. So congratulations to Clint as Rookie of the Year. Nick Hall, Matt Strebe, the owner champions, and your driver champion, none other than the Rocket, Mr. Ronnie Cox. That's pretty cool.
It's very cool.
So, heck yeah. And then, what do you say? You know who WHR is?
I've been hearing a little bit about them. There's a video and stuff on Facebook this week, so we were checking it out, and we actually talked about, we threw something out on Facebook about trying to get all the 206 guys to go up there and run with them. And then, the track looks a lot different. Everybody's running treads, and then everybody's like, well, I don't want to buy tires, and which I get. But, it'd be fun to do something to take our class that's growing so much and spread out.
Well, I'm here to tell you, they had close to 100 entries.
Really?
I mean, Ronnie said, I have not seen that many go-karts at a race in a long time. Well, let's just put it this way. They had 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 heat races in KT.
Wow.
I mean,
we haven't seen that in a while.
No. I mean, it was pretty solid. It was pretty solid. So I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because it's close. Right, that's
very true.
That's the biggest thing there. But, well, let's see. So Strebe Speedway had their final kart tour event there too. So, and it was cool that WHR Motorsports, they're like Bob Leach. They do a lot of flats. Mickey Fay, I think, and all those guys. And so they do a lot of stuff. So they allowed them to run their Raptors there. And your winner was Mike Strebe. Matt Strebe was second, and Uncle Chuck Newton, Ronnie Cox's car owner, was third. So good run for Uncle Chuck.
Yeah,
that's dialed in. Who won KT Light?
Paul Hopp.
Yeah,
and then Tyler Tanner and Reese Wickard. And actually, Ronnie just said they had 18 carts in KT Light up there.
Yeah, that's
good numbers.
That's pretty good. That is pretty good. So yeah. Let's see. KT Heavy went to Spencer Constance, Keith Wickard, and Brett McGee. Pro Open.
The Rocket again won that, and then Spencer Constance and Tyler Tanner.
Yeah, Tyler Tanner is a wheel. Now, those of you that don't know who Tyler Tanner is, his dad, Kelly, was, well, you tell him, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, Kelly Tanner was pretty big here in the Northwest. He was a heck of a driver, so... the roots are coming down to the kids, so they can definitely wheel. Kelly was he was it there for a few years. He was the man. So it's good stuff. Good to see the kids starting it up. I like it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. The Open class, so the Pro Open got paid. The Open class went to Spencer Constance, Levi Harless, and Reese Wickard. 40 plus.
Oh, here we go again. The Rocket, Ronnie Cox.
Man.
And then we had Keith Wickard and Mickey Thompson.
Hey, you think they sold tires there?
Maybe.
Mickey Thompson. Wow, that's a famous name. Schoolboy went to Colby Thornhill. Thornhill's racing go-karts? Tyler McLeod and Haley Constance.
Mini Kart, Braden Wager, Jaden Roberts, and Brooklyn Constance.
Yeah, and then we had the quarter midgets were there, but they didn't have any. Matt didn't get any final results. Probably left before they finished up. So we move on. Salem Speedway. First and foremost, I want to let you guys know that the Predator class that's going to be going on, it's due 14 days. The pre-registrations are due in 14 days. And there's only 3 of 20 that have paid up. So here's what's going to happen, guys. So you got 14 days. At the end of that 14 days, whoever hasn't paid up, they're just going to move on to the waiting list. And out of those, they're going to pay, and you're just going to lose your spot. So that's how that deal's going to work. So you've got 14 days to pay up, and there's only 3 of 20, and there's a long waiting list. And I think Jason is still taking waiting list folks. So he's backing himself up just in case nobody's putting their money where their mouth is. So you got 14 days to do that. Also, BK9 Junior UAS must pre-register and must prepay. So if you're going to plan on running the Junior UAS, we got to have 6 entries, or we got to have at least. Well, no, it's not 6 entries. I think they only. They must have 6.
I think it was 6.
Only 2 have prepaid, but there are 6 plus on the list. So verbal commitments are great, folks, but you got to prepay. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So
I hope that works. Honestly, I would love to see.
Yeah,
that
I would too.
Sure.
I mean, I know Dave Chisholm would too, because that's kind of his baby. But it should work. I mean, it's a good deal. But man, if you verbally committed, just pay him. Get it done. Get it over with. That way he can, because you don't want to do this last minute. Well, there won't be any last minute. It'll get to the point where he's too busy and he's just going to say, I don't have time to mess with it. Nobody wanted to prepay, so it's just going to be done. So keep that in mind. That's what's going on there. And then Salem Indoor, Trey Hornberg. Did you? Now you watch?
I did watch.
I don't know about you, but I thought he looked pretty good.
Yeah, and you can tell. I mean, obviously there was nobody out there with him, but you can just tell, right? You can tell when somebody's rolling that it wasn't. It looked pretty legit to me.
It did to me too. And he's a Speed City guy, Speed City kart shop down there in Medford, Oregon. And man, they're loaded for bear, man. They're coming.
Well, and you know what? They're good people.
They are good
They're
people.
Awesome people.
They are. I can't say enough good. So the Unlimited also, there was only one entry. It was Trey Hornbrick. He's from Medford, former cage kart driver. But man, he's on a Legend, and that thing looked good. I mean, yeah, he looped it a couple times, but I mean, for the most part, it stayed underneath him. He was rolling it. Sounded good. I don't know. Kid Kart went to Vienna Mott. What a sweetheart. That was super cool. Junior 1?
Junior 1 for Psycho went to Brennan Gregg.
Did you see him? That was his first time there. Kyle Keenan was coaching him.
Okay.
Helping him
I seen him kind of roll around.
And he got a new rig. Don Humble from CMC, Dr. Speed, hooking him up. And Jaden, Hildebrandt.
Yeah.
Smoked him in the first one. He got his stuff together. He came back and won the main event.
Cool. That's good.
Yeah. Smoking.
Good. Yeah.
So, how about Junior 2?
Junior 2, Becca Clark, right? Man, she can
Now,
roll.
you probably know her pretty good, right? I mean, you're pretty close with the Clarks.
Yeah.
She's quite a kid.
She's gonna be, she's gonna be one of those girls that can race with the guys because she don't put up with anything. It was funny. Mikey and DeMars were in the drivers' meeting and they were kind of chit chatting, and she laid down the law. She's like, "You boys need to listen."
Wow, really?
So, yeah, she's cool. I mean, she's got a good head on her shoulders, and she can roll. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun to watch her.
That
kinda
she
grow.
can roll, yeah, for sure. Let's see. How about Predators?
Matt Finch, and man, I was watching him. He just kills it.
I don't know. I should I go there?
Yeah,
I don't know. But
I would.
I don't know, man. It's hard to imagine a predator being that much faster than all the. I mean, he just flat run. I mean, from way back. I mean, he ran. I mean, he was back a ways,
Right.
and
Well,
he drove. I mean, he ran Nate down just like.
and usually that doesn't happen, right? The Culvers are pretty fast. I was watching with the Mars out there and the Culvers. All those guys, even Mulligan they were all in the mix. Those carts were literally changing places right with each other. It was good racing.
It was good racing.
And then,
But when you can take and just drive on by somebody and then motor away,
right.
I take it for what it is. I don't know. I just hope it isn't.
Right.
I mean, my deal is if you're cheating in that Predator class, you got issues. That's all I'm going to say.
I agree.
That's all I'm going to say. KT Light, Corey Markham. What do you say? Have you watched Corey Markham?
Yeah, super smooth, man.
God, the guy.
Super smooth.
He's been on the dirt. He was born on the dirt. He used to run when they used to run at Castle Rock. The kid is he's just good.
Yeah.
He is. And I was talking to his dad, Darren, and they were, they're doing the asphalt thing too now. And he's starting to get that in the 206. Picked up his first win later on this summer. And I'm going to tell you, he said that that has helped his dirt driving. So asphalt guys, the dirt will help you on the asphalt. I think dirt guys, asphalt will help you on the dirt. So, I mean, it would be cool to intermingle. And I don't know what would be wrong with having a summer series where there was a couple races on the asphalt just to
would be cool.
Shake it up. Mostly dirt, but you come in and you throw a couple asphalt races in there just because how they used to do in the NASCAR deal.
It'd be fun.
Be interesting to see.
Yep.
And plus you're learning about the rest of your sport, right? If all you do is speedway, you don't learn about the other.
Right.
And I think that's important. I don't think enough people understand the history of this sport and just how amazing it is. I mean, there's a lot of history here. KT Heavy, Corey Markham. I'm going to tell you the other guy, Chuck Jones, showed up.
Yeah.
If he wouldn't have stuck his main motor, that car works.
It does. And Chuck's a wheel man.
And that car used to belong to Jerry Patterson. And he was fast in it. But Chuck Jones can roll. And I think you were telling me on Saturday, pretty much whatever he gets in, he's fast.
Yep, it is.
That's crazy.
It's cool. Cravitron looked really good though too.
Yes, he did.
He was right there.
Yes, he did.
So I think they're still getting stuff figured out too. So
yep, for sure.
It's good stuff.
For sure. But let's face it, you lose to Corey Markham, you've lost to probably one of the best guys around. I mean, he's ever been as quick. He's Passanante does him in, but I mean, I'm just telling you.
I'd like to see him there with Corey, and it's a good show when those guys are there.
Boy, that thing just gets through the middle like nobody's business. Yeah. Anyway, Super Sport Clone went to Danny Cahill. I don't know if you watched that.
I didn't get to watch it, but I listened. I listened to it the other night, and I literally had to pull over to finish listening because it sounded like it was just a battle.
It was a war, and let me tell you, neither one of them. I mean, I talked to Flint afterwards, and he said we're all good, but. I'm going to tell you, they were there was no love lost out there at all, and that's good for the sport.
That's what we need.
Rivalries are good. It reminds me of one I used to years back was a guy by the name of Mike McMahon and Tim Moss. They were on the asphalt, and I seen them at Pat's Acres where they banged pods all the way down the straightaway, and it was one guy would get him and bump him, and you'd see him go down the straightaway, and the finger would come up from. I mean, it was intense. And it was like no love lost, and they would go at it.
But what would they do after the race?
They didn't speak. It was
I like to see
it was a Hatfield and McCoy kind of thing.
I like to see that on the track, and then go high five the guy after you've.
Yeah, there was no.
Yeah.
Now maybe now I think they've both calmed down, whatever. But back then, no.
That happens.
Chris Hatch, no surprise there. 206 light. He was pretty much He's fast. He is fast. And then Mikie Clark wins heavy, which you were second. Not bad.
No, it was good. Mikey's just fast. He's smooth, and it's just, I would like to see him jump in the light class or medium or whatever it is now and roll with the 12 or 14 guys, because I think he could compete.
Right.
I think he could be right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it would be fun to see,
Well, you had Rowdy was fat, Green. I mean, those guys are, those are vets. I mean, Brian Green is a veteran.
Yeah.
On the pavement.
Well, those guys race all year pretty much.
Yeah,
so
he's like Herschel McGriff on the pavement.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian Green he's a crafty old veteran boy. I'll tell you, he's pretty tough. So, Salem Speedway in the books. Let's see here. Couple of things. Oh, the Patriot Speedway for UAS. I don't know if you guys saw it. If you guys get a chance, you need to go to See High Performance. Check out the video there of the fall brawl from Patriot Speedway in North Carolina. Congrats to Robbie Yao, who won it. I guess it was cold back there, but they were going, that's a quarter mile, and they were going 12-1s. So, and if you watch this thing, he had a 450 on it, and I've heard some 450, but man, this thing, it purred. I mean, it was up on the pipe and screaming.
Awesome.
So, and he actually had the quick lap in the race, a 12-127 in the race. That was 0.4 quicker than the pole was. So, the top five was Robbie Yao, your winner. He won $1,000. Austin C. was second. Justin Westerfeld was third. Joe Warning was fourth, and Terry Hollyfield was fifth. So good stuff for Robbie Yao, who maybe, there's rumor that he may be at BK9.
That'd be awesome.
Wouldn't that be something? Shout outs. Austin Ray Chalman. A lot of you guys may not know him. He's a pavement guy. I met him in 2010 before the Grands. They came all the way from Colorado. He raced for Unser Motorsports. And he came up and did it, and then I got to watch him again in 2012, and then again in 2014 at the IKF 4-Cycle Grands. He won 2016. He was the LO206 Adult Light winner, and he got it was the Colorado State something or other he was at, and he got awarded for that and recognized for that. So, super kid. His dad, David, is just a swell guy. Just one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and it's just cool to see their dream come true, because they're gonna go places. The kid's doing good. He's getting tryouts for this, that, and the other thing. So just really glad our paths crossed on that deal, and way to go, ARC. Keep rolling it, buddy. That's you are the man.
Cool.
In other news, let's see what's going on. More UAS news. What do you got there, Mikey?
Well, official UAS region forming in Idaho. So, I mean, this is kind of new to me. I don't understand the regional thing with the UAS. But Josh Coley has just submitted his paperwork, making it official that he is pulling together a schedule for 2017 for the new Idaho Unlimited All-Stars region.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
that's good stuff to see. Hopefully that means it's growing, right?
Absolutely.
Do you want me to get out?
Yeah,
of
why
info
not?
Here?
Sure,
if you guys need to get a hold of him, here's his phone number. It's 208-340-9491 is his number, or his email is crtenginesllc@gmail.com.
Right on.
So it's glad to see them on board.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's really cool. And also, it was announced by Mark Bergfeld, who is the owner of the Unlimited All-Stars, American Muscle Cart, that Matt Browning is the new Northwest Ohio Region Administrator. So Browning is already working on the 2017 scheduling, and he's a good guy. I think he was at the Grands this year. He's on one of the covers of this year's American Muscle Cart. And you can reach him, Matt or Michael, or his wife Jennifer at 765-393-2842, or you can email him at mcb46016@gmail.com. That series is in good hands. Browning's, he's into it, so that's what you need to be. So
step one.
Yeah, that is really cool stuff when when you see that. It means it's growing. Might be just little baby steps, but and really it's just like this. Each region, like the Northwest UAS, which us, and then now the Idaho, whatever. So they each get 2 quarter point races every year.
Okay.
They're worth 100 points each. And then basically what they do, everything else really doesn't count. I mean, it's just those 2 regional. So let's just say like this year, Stansbury won both of them. And he won the region.
Right.
So that winning that's worth 10 points. And then he won both quarter points, so that's 200 points. So he goes into the Grand Nationals with 210 points. Now, Terry Hollyfield from back in North Carolina, whatever, he wins his 2 region quarter point races, and he wins his region, so he comes in. So then now you've got 4 or 5 or 6 guys all with 210 or 200 or whatever it is, and then the Grand Nationals decide the overall national champion.
That's cool.
So, yeah, that's what that deal is.
So this weekend, Salem's back in action with Slideways Saturday. We're still trying to work with Jason to get counts up. You know, that's always going to be a battle, trying to get more people there, racing, supporting us, all that good stuff. So Speedway carts, you know, during the day, and then the motorcycles are back on Saturday night for the second half of the show. And then coming up on the 26th and 27th, Terry, we got the Ford Focus Midgets are going to be at Salem.
That's going to be rip.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah, and I think, aren't the cage carts?
Cage carts are with them also.
Yeah.
So put that on your calendars. That's going to be a huge, huge weekend.
Yep, that's going to be pretty cool. And I want to say, for some reason, I don't know, but I don't know, some radio boys or something from back east. So I don't know if they're going to be there or not, but there's going to be myself and another announcer doing the Ford Focus thing. So I don't really know all the details on that, but it's just going to be a great show. You don't want to miss that. Renee Angel, I think one time Shane Smith's going to be there.
Cool.
A lot of good stuff there. So
I don't think I can make it. I got to try to kill an elk that weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. Well, there's always Sunday. Couldn't you go on Sunday?
Well,
I mean, like killing elk. That's Saturday
I'll
night.
I'll kill an elk Saturday, and then I can show up on Sunday.
Yeah, because it's not gonna happen till.
It's very optimistic on my behalf.
You think?
I know.
Yeah. So right after the break, we're gonna be we'll be talking to Mikie Clark and Stewart Sheridan. So hang with us. We'll be right back. The 3 most expensive things you'll do in your life are buy a house, educate your kids, and go racing. I know what you don't need is another expense, and that's why you take your car and tow rigs to TruTech Automotive to ensure that they are maintained and repaired the right way with the right parts at the right price. And how's this for right? Extended to all racers is the In the Family 25% discount off of all preventative maintenance and repair labor. All you have to do is use the discount code NWRR to save. Now that's right. Get it done the right way, the TruTech way. TruTech Automotive, 6900 Northeast Highway 99, Hazeldale, Washington. 360-571-2302.
Hey racers, Glenn Tower here from the Northwest Race Report. You know, with the invention of the internet, our local go-kart shops have really taken a huge blow. One of the great go-kart shops out there is O'Hagan's Carts and Supplies. They offer a great selection of carts, parts, and service. We all want to win, and O'Hagan's wants to help. O'Hagan's Carts and Supplies, Lebanon, Oregon.
Your favorite drivers and people of interest in the motorsports world. It's time for In the Seat, powered by Blue Line Graphics. Yeah, Brian Esquini and the gang will take good care of you at Blue Line Graphics. Over 52 different vehicle wraps and race graphics for you to choose from. So stand out, get noticed, be unique. BLG. www.blg.blue. Brian Esquini. And we would not be where we are today without the great folks at Blue Line Graphics. So be sure you patronize them. Our guest tonight, our first guest. Man, he's a young gun. He's a young stud. He's been getting it done. His name is Mikie Clark. Mikie Clark, welcome to the show, buddy. Oops, are you there? Let me see here. Oh, okay. There, are you there, Mikie?
Yep, I'm here, Mr. Terry.
Right. Oh, man, welcome to the show, buddy. Glad to have.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah, it's man, it's great to have you on. So, let me do this. Okay, so I've got some questions for you, and what did I do with my third page? Oh, there it is. I think I got it. Right
You
here.
got it?
Yeah, I think I do. Or you can ask him. Go ahead, Mikey.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Mikey. How long have you been racing, and how did you get your start? What was the first little stepping stones that you did?
Well, I used to race BMX bikes in a long time ago. I forget the year. And then we ended up getting a go-kart when Mom was out of town. So she comes back to a go-kart, and I started racing in '03, I believe, and just kind of stuck with it till about '06, '07, and then ended up getting out of it. Just kind of stopped racing go-karts for a while, raced some RC cars and stuff like that. And then my little sister Becca decided to get into racing.
So that kind
we
of
hopped back in it.
got you fired back up too?
Yeah,
Good
so
deal.
that fired everyone back up. So we started back in 2014, and then last year we got a little taste of dirt, and I'd rather give up asphalt and come run dirt full time.
Really?
So what made you what made you decide that you were going to give up the pavement?
It was actually after I broke my wrist, I kind of sat down and kind of looked around, and I spent a lot of time at the dirt track when I broke my arm.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, something just in my heart just told me choose this path that's going to be better for you. So I just stuck with it with my gut, and I don't look back at all.
Man, that's awesome, man. Well, you know, I've got 3 questions here for you, but those are going to be for our quick 4 for you for later on. But you know, Michael, I'm just wondering where are you wanting to go with this? I mean, are you going to take this? Are you going to go from here, like maybe to a UAS kart or to a cage kart, and then up? Or are you wanting to get into cars? Where are you wanting to go with it?
I mean, it'd always be fun to go run a dwarf car. I have a chance this summer to go try one out. So I had a couple before and just never got around to being actually able to race it. So, I mean, that or a modified is where I want to go into. If I make it, I make it. If I don't, well, I tried at least to get into one, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you know, you got to get up. I think, and Mike will probably be a better guy to you know, advise you on this. But, I mean, I think once you get up there, dwarfs or street stock or whatever, that's when maybe you can start deciding which way either you can afford to go or which way you think that maybe you're going to go, right? I mean, there's some better
I think for sure, you know, whatever you're going to do, you just got to make sure you're doing it right. You know, it does help to have backing behind you, whether it be your family or if you can pick somebody up that's going to help foot the bills that really believes in you and thinks that you can go somewhere, you know, and wants to be behind that, then that's what you need to do. But just whatever you do, and you're doing it now. I mean, you're winning, you know, and not only are you winning, but you're, you know, after you knocked me out of the way for the lead, you came over after and said, dude, you know, I didn't really mean to do that. And that's what you're supposed to do, right?
You were just slow, so I had to move you.
I was in the way.
I get into you, Mike.
I get it. But you know what I'm saying? Like he came up after the race, Terry, and he said, dude, I didn't, you know, it wasn't on purpose. And I'm like, dude, I've been there a million times. It's all good. We're racing.
Right.
And he didn't dump me.
But that's the cool thing.
Yeah,
he gave you the option to say it's no big deal. It's when you don't
Right.
say anything like that. And that's the type of kid he is.
Yeah.
I mean, that just shows you.
And that shows you, you know, that's good, Mikey. That's what you got to do. And you're going to have people that are going to give you the cold shoulder. And you're just like,
oh, yeah,
whatever, dude. And I've seen you do it already. You know, it's just good. So you got a good head on your shoulders. You just got to keep, if it's what you really want to do, you just need to keep pushing. You know, and just keep doing it because you love it.
Yeah.
And
Weber ain't going to give him no more crap.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy the dirt. It's just like, it's like my second home, it feels like to me. And if I go anywhere, I go somewhere. But I would actually give up my racing for my sister to go pursue her deals.
Wow. Why do you, I mean, is it because you think your sister is going to have a better shot, or?
Oh yeah, she's a lot younger. She just really enjoys racing, and it's just, I don't know. My sister's
Well, dude,
Sorry,
you know
no,
what?
yeah.
That's really commendable. I mean, I know a lot of guys that wouldn't. I mean, that's pretty cool, man. Well, here's what you need to do, and I mean, and just my opinion, but whatever your plan is, whether maybe you go to dwarfs and that's all you do, and that's okay too, but you got to commit.
Oh yeah, that'd be a blast.
You got to commit your plan to paper, dude. You got to put it down. Same with your sister. If she's going to go somewhere, she needs to start writing a plan down. Whether it's right or wrong or indifferent, you need to at least put it down on paper and then follow it and then make adjustments and and exits and do whatever you need to do accordingly. But man, you got to commit that to paper. I mean,
and you got to find out. You got to be honest with yourself and find out where your program is lacking or where you're lacking, and then that's what you build on. You got a million positives, but it's that one negative that could hurt you. So work on that and fix that, and then you'll be totally successful. So
yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Wow. So what's your favorite part about the dirt? I mean, what is it about the dirt that just makes Mikie Clark go, oh, I love this?
I don't know. I love the loud noise from all the cars and the smell of race fuel.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like, after sounds weird, but when the races are over and you got dirt all over your face and up your nose and everything, I don't know. I just have always loved that, the feeling of the dirt.
Wow. That's pretty cool, actually. Wow.
Yeah.
That's an awesome answer. So, are you a mechanic there at True Tech?
No, I'm not. I work for Snap-on Tools, so I sell tools to my dad at the shop. So it's kind of a fun little game we have.
Wow. You have your own truck?
No, I'm an assistant for my boss. He's a franchisee, and I work for him. But, I mean, I pretty much run a lot of the stuff when he's not able to, and my goal is to buy the business from him.
Is it kind of like an apprentice thing almost, where you're just kind of learning all the ropes? And
wow, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's where I'll be going. So you'll see down the road when Becca's in her whatever she has, her sprint car, whatever, there'll be Snap-on all over it.
Well, I was going to say there might be your help too, even if it's for you on a little part-time basis, so you can go run you a little dirt model down at dirt late model down at Willamette or something,
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, cool stuff. That's interesting. I had no idea that you were doing that.
Yeah, so it's a fun gig I got. It's my work, racing, and school, and that's about it.
Those aren't bad things.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Wow, that's pretty cool. So, let's see. We got a couple minutes here. So let me just ask you. Okay, I asked some of my guests, and you're fun enough. I can do this. So, one of my questions, though, I thought you worked for your dad. So, but we're still going to ask it anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't really think. You just gotta say the first thing that comes to your mind. All right. So.
All right.
Who is your favorite racer?
Oh, my favorite racer, probably Rico Abreu.
Sweet. And in karting, who's your favorite racer?
Asphalt or dirt?
Both.
Well, asphalt. That's a hard one. I really like Jake Craig. He's a really cool kid.
Yep.
Or adult, I should say.
Yep.
And then for dirt, I don't know. That's a really tough one. I'm still learning a lot of the dirt racers. But Stansbury's a really cool guy, and he's really cool because if you ask him questions, he doesn't blow you off. He'll actually talk to you about chassis setups and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So I really like that guy. He's really cool.
That's awesome. Have you met the Hitman or Brad Berg or any of those guys, the UAS guys?
Oh, yeah. I've met Mr. Ryan Diatti. He's a really cool dude, too.
Yep. But that's cool. That's cool. No,
Yeah.
That's awesome. What? Well, you asked this one. Go ahead.
We doing, what's your favorite grub, man? Where do you like to graze at? What's your favorite food?
He said grease.
My favorite food, I don't know. I gotta say, In-N-Out or Chick-fil-A.
Wow, really? Do you like Chinese food?
Yeah, Chinese food's pretty good too.
Yeah. Are you a Panda Express kind of guy?
No, I'm more of like that's like P.F. Chang's or.
Oh yeah. Yeah, baby.
The lettuce wraps.
Salt and pepper shrimp, baby. I'm all over that. Okay, so and let's see, number 3, UAS or cage carts?
That'd be a hard one. I either whatever.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's the
through.
first thing that comes to your mind? UAS or cage carts?
Let's go with the cage cart.
Okay, let's go with. That's not the first thing that came to your mind, but that's okay. That's cool. That's cool. So, if you were working for your dad, what would you rather do? An oil change or a tire rotation?
I'd rather do an oil change.
Why?
Because 90% of the people are on flat rate, and you'll be able to figure out or find all the issues that are wrong with the car, and that could potentially lead into more work than a tire rotation. You're only really going to be able to see shocks and brakes while you're doing one. Oil change, you'll be able to see oil pan and all the stuff that needs to be done.
Right. So let's say I bring my car in, and let's just say you just did a tire rotation. That's all you did. And I came back and I said, "Hey, Mikey, you rotated my tires, and now my radio doesn't work. It worked when I brought it in." What would you tell him?
I'd say that we'd have to look at it. There's probably an electrical issue in there.
Yeah, but it worked fine. It worked fine before you rotated my tires.
Yeah, there's a million different parts in a car, and you can't figure it out until you look at it.
Huh.
Because your tires have nothing to do with your radio.
Oh, that was the answer I was looking for. That's it. But good. That's man. Are you a service writer too?
No. I couldn't work with my dad. We butt heads too much.
There it is.
Wow. Yeah, dude, you're awesome.
So Mikey, what are your goals for this year? Whether it be in the dirt or, just what are you trying to accomplish this season?
For one, graduate, and then probably go for a championship on dirt. That's my main deal.
Cool.
That's awesome. Well, Mikie Clark, you're the man, dude. You are the man.
Well, thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend. You going to be there?
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, we'll be there. I cannot wait.
Awesome. And then you'll probably be on a push quad come the 26th, right? Working with the cage carts and all that? Because I noticed
Yeah, actually, I'll be down there, and I'll have my own quad this time.
Yeah, I heard he has a really nice quad now.
Man.
Yeah, I
Wow.
know. This guy, Mike Michelson, he had this cool quad up for sale, so I had to get it.
Wow, did he make you a deal on it?
Actually, it was from Alan. Yeah, he made me a pretty good deal on it. I couldn't pass it up.
There was some horse trading going on. So,
Oh, there was? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so he was BSing me when he said, "Man, dude, I charged him full bore and he just bid." I'm kidding. No, that's awesome, man. That is really awesome. Well, make sure your stuff's prepped because Michelson's coming for you.
Not this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not this weekend?
No, I'm out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on, Mike, let's go.
I got to work. I gotta
work's
pay
overrated.
I gotta pay the bills.
He's racing. We already worked it out. I'm taking it down there, and then he's going to show up late.
I just
and
need a
run the
helicopter to
feature.
get me down there.
Man, I figured Terry was going to be racing with me.
Oh no, you'd whoop my butt, man.
He can jump in the 87.
I'm too old and too. I don't know, man. It's been a while. You guys would
Hey,
mop me up.
cool.
I'd be in the way, man. I would be in the way.
You'd be a mid-pack blocker. That's what we like to call
I would be a rear pack blocker. Yeah. They'd be calling
could
me,
push you around, I guess.
what's her name? GoDaddy.
Danica.
Yeah,
Danica.
Danica Bridges would be back there, Jeez Louise.
You're not even fun to look at, though.
No. But,
All right.
Oh, God, Terry.
well, hey,
Hey,
Mikey,
well,
thanks for being on the show,
for-
man.
Yeah.
And thanks for
Yeah.
being a good sport. You're a great kid, and I think very, very highly of you, man.
Yep. Tell the family
Hey,
hi.
thank you.
We'll catch you later.
Yeah, we'll do. Thank
Okay,
you
buddy.
for all the compliments and everything.
No
You guys
problem,
have a great
bud.
one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Man, a good kid.
Really good kid.
I mean, what do you guys think? Pretty good kid, huh? I would say very good kid. Man, got his head on right, and
Chuck Jones checked in.
Oh, Chuck Jones, yeah, awesome. Good to see him on the show. It was good to see him this weekend. We got Mr. Stewart Sheridan coming up here very shortly. USKRA. Now I don't know about. Here's what I do know. I talked with Chizzy last night or today actually. And is Chizzy on today? Did he make it tonight? I don't know.
I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen him either.
No.
But he said that was kind of his baby. He started the USKRA, and then about halfway, there we go. So we are going to get him here. Your favorite drivers and people of interest in the motorsports world. It's time for In the Seat, powered by Blue Line Graphics. All right, our next guest, a lot of you may or may not know him. He is the president and the CEO, or whatever you want to call it, of the new USKRA, the United States Kart Racing Association. Please welcome Stewart Sheridan to the show. Stewart, what's up, man? Are you there, buddy? Oh, there you are.
Hey,
there you
here.
are. All right. So, man, what is tell us a little bit about the USKRA.
Well, it's pretty much gets us back to old school kart racing is more or less what it does. It is a sanction that is put together for karters, by karters, and the karters and drivers and teams all make the decisions and choices all by voting together to make those choices and decisions on whatever is changed. But for the basic part of it, it is a program that will show you exactly how to build your motor to be able to run whichever class you want to run, and you'll be able to do it at home without the high-end engine builders. And you can do it more as a family setup than you can, being on the high end and spending all that money out and enjoy the sport a whole lot more. And we're real safety oriented, so we stay real close on all safety of any track that we run at. So
wow,
basically that's what it's about. So
no, that sounds very interesting. You know, the one thing that I like about it is, in listening to that, is the racers vote on the rules. Correct? I mean, that's
exactly.
So
yes, the racers as well as their teams. I mean, it's not just
right.
one single individual or a board that's sitting there that makes these rules or puts them in play. It's everybody on the majority rules. So it's everybody.
Right. And the positive that I see there is that polices itself. Right. I mean, guys whining and complaining about the rules. They say, "Hey, you voted it in."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't no good to whine or cry about it. I enforce whatever is voted in, and I will. I do enforce them as far as that goes. We have had a very, very successful year there last year with two of the Oklahoma tracks that we got over there, which they're showing about 125 karts per show. For each track that they have there, and
wow,
it's done really well. The series went well, so
wow,
we're going to expand it out. Get everybody else involved.
Man, that's awesome. So what classes does the USKRA have?
We have the classes all the way from the very bottom, no different than what they are out here now. The difference that there are in them is the fact of the matter there is no age jumping. So otherwise, we don't allow the younger drivers to jump up into classes before their time. Keep everybody in their class where they need to be at. Reason being, not so much saying that that this kid can't drive better or whatever. That don't make any difference. It's not so much the driving all about it. It's the mental part of racing as well. Because when you get up into the bigger parts of racing, these kids need to learn that discipline of what it is to have to hold back at times. Instead of pushing them up here and making it all about who's got the most money and the most prestige. This is where our kids learn their basics to become those good NASCAR drivers or become the next big sprint car champions,
Sure.
And they need to take that time and be a kid. And you need to enjoy it, not push your kid along.
Well, Stuart,
we firmly believe in that.
Stuart, the question I might have to that then is, Okay, so and that's very understandable when you get a kid there that's a basic talents. But say you've got a kid there that is just super talented. I mean, and so keeping him there is really he's just going to pound on those other kids. I mean,
exactly, yeah.
So would he be able to move up?
We have a remedy for that. We do have a remedy for that, though. The remedy for that is, and you know it, and that's the junior USKRA or the junior.
UAS?
Yeah, UAS. Yep, yeah, UAS, yes. And
okay.
Dave Chisholm is the head of that, and he has a very good program going there. So if their kid's super talented, that's the class for them. That's where they need to be at, you know. So we're not trying to tie anybody's hands, and we're not trying to rule over everything or any of the above. And that's nothing about it. You know, we want to see the track survive. We want to see the carters want to come and want to race. We want to make fair opportunities for everybody across the board. You know, not everybody, you know, is very well off. So I mean, we want to bring it back to where the guy can put the cart in the trunk of the car and bring his kid and run on a Saturday and have a good time and be able to compete.
Right.
You know, so that's basically really what USKRA is, bringing the family of karting back together, not just saying we're family, but, you know, actually being family, help each other out, you know, go have a good time, you know, have good shows. And then when there's big money shows, then they're big money shows, you know, put your stuff together, go run the big money shows. We don't have no problem running with any other sanctioned class. We will get wherever they need to be as far as the rules go, or we're actually not far off from where they're at. Besides, we chose to come out with a little better rod and a little better flywheel and stuff like that right from the get-go than messing around with trying to run, bone stock basically on the clones, you know, and the clones are beating themselves up at any rate, you know, but we're going to support them as long as we can. You know, the L206 class is excellent class. I love it. You know, the carts have a lot of longevity, and we have the big end, the fast carts, you know, and that's where those guys want to be, and that's where they can be. But, you know, I mean, we're just, like I said, we're out here just to try to get karting back on a normal stance and not such a big, giant grandstand.
Right.
You know?
That's awesome.
So, you know, because that's only for small events, you know, some events, you know, I ain't going to say small because, you know, I mean, Tennessee, you know, Dumpling Valley, they have a huge event every year, you know, and they draw a lot of racers there, and that's great, you know, for those style events. But those are a once-a-year event. We want to see a nice steady flow across the country of everybody being on the same rule base, everybody knowing, and then they know they can go from one track to another with these carts and not have a bunch of rule changes to what they can run and what they can't run. So we just want to try to get it all on an even keel and get more carters to the tracks for the track owners and more carters out here on the track to enjoy the sport.
So Stewart, what's your plan to kind of? I mean, it sounds like you guys are mostly back east right now. Is that right?
I mean, where's your home track?
Well, right now, I mean, we've got tracks, like I said, in the mid part of the country, and quite a few up and down the East Coast, and then, you know, down into Florida, some over into here to Texas, and some over into Louisiana and stuff. But I'm out here right now. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona now, and you know, would like to implement it over here as well, so that way we could bring a big winter series out this way, or a decent winter series out this way for the individuals that, you know, are financially able to do so and enjoy doing that. You know, that's what we'd like to do, just make one big giant sweep all the way around, you know, and just spread ourselves everywhere we can. Let's put it that way.
Are you going to be at the Classic this year?
Oh, yes, sir. I'll be there. I'll be right there.
That's great. But I think Mike said, what's your plan? Do you have a plan of attack, or is it pretty much already in place?
Really not so much a plan of attack, you know. I mean, I have everything. I have stuff posted, you know, all over the internet, and I have quite a few web pages. And most people that's out here in the karting world now are on one or other of our pages, you know, because like Kart Tech, that's ours, you know. A lot of the sales sites on there, you know, it's ours, you know. So we regulate about all those. So those guys not even realizing are rubbing shoulders with us every single day anyhow, you know, and just don't even know it, you know. But if they would pay attention, they would know, because all those sites are tied right under the USKRA. So
Stuart, one thing you might
we
think
have made an impact in one way or another to it.
So one thing you might think about, here in Salem, Oregon, the end of January, we have the BK, and it's, one of the biggest races on the west side of the Mississippi. We get people from all over the country out here. If it's something that you could put something together for, that'd be great for you to show face there. And if you're trying to get your message out, there's a lot of big players in the karting world.
I'm more than happy to take suggestions from anybody. I just don't want to get this up into where it's more politics than it is racing.
Sure.
So that's my biggest thing. I'll take anything I can get from anybody, and to let everybody else know this too. There's nobody out here funding me. Every bit of this that I'm doing is on my own. It's out of my pocket. And I don't ask anybody for anything, and I don't expect anybody to give. If that happens down the road, that's fine. But other than that, this is not a sanction that is out here trying to get fat or get somebody to be able to live off of what it's doing. I ain't no part of that.
Right.
So,
No, it sounds like you're doing it for the right reasons.
The basics.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir. Sometimes the right reasons ain't all it takes to get it where it needs to go. But, I just hope people really do listen to what's going on here on the show and pay attention, because it's all about making this sport live, and do well, and prosper. So I've been doing this for 45 years now. So, and I've never lost the love for it ever since the day I started. So
that's pretty cool.
And I never will. So, yep.
No, once you're in, you're kind of a lifer.
Pay attention.
Yeah, no
that's
problem.
Right. You're a lifer always. There ain't nothing that feels better than sitting down on a cart and going out there and competing on something that you've had your hands in and a part of. There's nothing like it. And then when you get a win, it makes it even sweeter. So.
It sure does. Well, I've always said that it doesn't matter at what level you're doing it at. It's always somebody's Daytona 500 or Indy 500, right?
That's right.
It just might not be at at that same level. So.
Yeah. And what most people don't realize out here is, they can pump it up and shove it out wherever they want to shove it out to, and Kurt Burris and them, they're big supporters of anything that has to do with racing, and I praise those guys up and down because they do everything they possibly can to stick whatever they can anywhere they can to draw racers and make events what they are, and they have a huge part in that. And like I said, I'll praise them to the day I die for what they've done, because they've put their life's souls into doing this, the same as I'm doing. My biggest dream is just to see karting healthy like it was back when I was a young man and running, and I ran dirt and asphalt both. So guys, don't think that dirt's the only thing there is in the world, because asphalt racing, there's a lot of super good individuals over there, and they're no different what the dirt guys are. Besides, they just like to stay a little cleaner. That's all.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Now, what years were you racing? Were you in the heyday of it back in the 80s?
Well, yeah, I was in. Yeah, well, I ran all the way from early 70s all the way through the 80s. So yeah, I was right in the heyday when things were just, top of the line, really good times, I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody, I was a champion here, a champion there, or whatever, I was never no big giant champion or nothing. I was, decent at what I did, and I enjoyed it more than I cared about the winning. I enjoyed the camaraderie of the people, the friends that I made over the years, that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world, and just watching the kids come from youngins to adults, and now their kids are up and in it and coming on. That's what it's all about for me, every bit of it. I don't care if I ever get a win ever again. It's worth just seeing the kids' eyes light up and everything else. I just love it. That's my drive right there. So.
Wow. Well, who were some of the big players back in that time that you remember?
Well, let's see. There was quite a few of them. It really wasn't any one single, but Jeff Gordon, he was in there. A lot of the guys that are in NASCAR now, they were all in that era. Tony Stewart was in it.
Well, did you run with Lynn Haddock at all? Did you run against Lynn Haddock? Or?
Oh, yeah. I ran with Lane a couple times there. I never ran his class so much, but I ran where they ran at and stuff quite a bit. And then the fellows that built the Badgers and stuff like that over there in Ohio, I've run with them for years and years, and the Doors, I know them all guys real well. I run with all those guys, and they're all old school guys that's come up through, so,
Wow.
So they try to support the sport the best way they can, so, and I'm glad they do. So,
That's awesome.
But,
well,
yep.
Stewart, I appreciate you being on the show, buddy, and you got some good information, and I want to let you know that anything we can do here at the Northwest Race Report to help you, get your message out or do whatever, we'll do whatever we can to help you, and good luck with it.
Okay, man, I appreciate it a bunch, and hopefully we'll be talking to you here, this next coming season, and we'll have a whole different thing of what everything's come out and how well it's doing, and and everybody, we'll be able to get some people on there that actually can tell what they think of the series themselves instead of just me.
That would be perfect, man. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. I appreciate it a bunch.
Hey, you bet, Stewart. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so everybody, Stewart Sheridan, USKRA, you heard it there. He just wants to get it back to grassroots. He wants to bring the fun back. He's right. That's how karting used to be. I mean, Gold Cups, there was 250 people there. I mean,
crazy.
It was nuts, and everybody thinks that, oh boy, we don't have time, or don't talk to me about not enough time. I mean, they used to take 250 guys, and everybody would get get to qualify. Everybody, they timed them by hand, and then everybody got three heat races on top of it, and they were still out of there by 5 o'clock. So no time I'm not buying, because they used to do and you maybe got one practice if you were lucky. I mean, it was enough, and there was carts everywhere. So in other words, pretty much all the adult classes, it was a practice, and there was carts everywhere. So you could go down there and make sure that the clutch was going to hook and pull, and nothing was going to fall off, and that was about it. I mean, this clean air, pulling in, weight. I mean, nah, none of that. I mean, it was just a different deal back then, and it was pretty awesome. So.
Well, I don't know, man. So, Time
Good
Again
stuff.
Racing is in the house.
Oh, Dan Kravitz? Yeah,
Yep.
baby.
Joe Ransom. And,
That's Blue Line North, I'll have you know.
yeah, that's right.
BLG North.
And even Justin Beard's popping in there. So,
What? Where's he been?
he's got some powder coating things getting done and new bodies, because I think Tasha's going to start racing maybe this weekend. I think he's going to be there. He can chime in, but I think he's going to be there this weekend.
Wow,
He said
cool,
he's got some
cool.
catching up to do.
You know who else is going to? I think KB50 Fab is going to be there this
really?
weekend. Yeah. Yeah, baby. So that's kind of did you see go by his Facebook page, check out the 50, man. It looks
Looking good.
It looks really good. And that's good stuff. So and quickly, while I want to say it, I don't know, it was a complete surprise to me. But I just want to thank everybody who voted for me in the for the UAS Sportsman Award. It was the non-driver Sportsman of the Year award. I found out on Saturday night after the races. Wes Snow sent me a picture of it and said, "Man, you sure deserve this." And I'm like, "Wow, I couldn't believe it." So I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody who may or may not have voted for me. That's probably one of the
Congrats, man.
coolest things ever for me, and so I just appreciate it. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that gives you a little motivation to keep on keeping on. So
KB is not going to make it. By the
oh,
way.
he isn't.
No, things change. He didn't say what. But
oh, okay. Wow, bummer.
He's out.
Okay, well, that's too bad. But still, thank you, everybody. And we're going to move on. When we talk about, and we were talking a little bit about Stewart, he said there, the racers make the rules and this and that, I mean, from the Gold Cup to the Speedway to, everything in between, late models, it doesn't matter what it is, I just don't understand why the rules always seem to be a grievance. And by that, I mean, there's a rule book there, and it's there for a reason, right? And so and it's your job to know and understand the rule book. You have to. I mean, if you're putting a cart together, or a race machine of any type, you got to have the rules and you got to know them, right? In order to even build the car. Otherwise, you're not going to be state of the art and right up on everything. But my point is, when they get to the track, you can't deal with rules on an individual basis, like by circumstance or whatever. The rule is there for a purpose. It doesn't matter how it's violated, or if he meant to, or if it was an accident, or the fact of the matter is, if it's violated, it's violated. And so rather than trying to deal with it, and you hear all this grief, man, I just didn't know what to do. I was like, geez, he was saying that, what's the rule book say? The rule book says, if you do this, you get that. Okay, did he do that? Yes, he did. Well, then he gets this. I mean, that's the penalty. It's cut and dry. I mean, there's no questioning it. There's no arguing it. It's like use the rule book. I mean, and that's what everybody should refer to. It's like, hey, what does the rule say? Let's go and look at the rule. Well, by rule, it says that if you do this, this is the penalty. Did he do that? Yes, he did. Well, then he gets the penalty.
Right.
I mean, it shouldn't be an issue.
No, and it usually only takes once, right? Like somebody gets whacked and they're pissed, but if you broke the rule, you broke the rule. They get whacked and everybody else sees that they got whacked for it, and then the stuff usually stops.
Absolutely. I mean, it should be. I wonder how many rule books are there. I mean, really, if people download them or have a copy of the rules. Because, I mean, anytime there's an infraction, you need to go look at the rules, and you need to read it before you lose your mind and go, completely berserko over what happened. Get your rule book out, look it up. By rule, it says this. I mean, it's are you or aren't you within that? I'm not. Well, then guess what? So that's what I'm saying. And
it's supposed to be black and white, right?
And it should be for the most part. But once you deal with one on a circumstantial or whatever basis, now you've opened the door and made the bed to, it's just like when they're the touching, like the goal cups and stuff racing on the asphalt, right? You get some of that stuff, man. You got 25 guys all going at a high rate of speed on an enclosed track with limited real estate. There is going to be some contact. Some of it's severe, but that doesn't mean it's a penalty. It just happens, So, but they've opened the door. Anytime there's a bump, anytime there's a touch or a rub, somebody wants a call, and that's you open yourself up for all kinds of chaos there.
Right. Well, you got to be consistent. I mean, right? That's the whole thing. You have to be consistent. Like, if we're going to enforce the rules, you have to enforce the rules, and you got to be consistent with it. And I know Jason's shorthanded right now. He doesn't have enough volunteers, but at the end of the day, I mean, this isn't a knock to him because he doesn't have the manpower. But man, we gotta get something going, as far as tech, and even pick a class a night and do something, If he needs help, and I know he's reached out a little bit, but like as far as somebody being at the scales to help with that, we can find a volunteer, to stand at the scales, or
yeah. I mean, but see, and some of that stuff, and it's even like if some of you followed Wes Snow's, you UAS guys, Wes Snow put up a deal there that, there's that CC rule that everybody argued about at the start of the year, right? It was the maximum. They give you a little bit for an overbore, and so it's like 510 is the limit, right? Well, if you're going to have that rule in the rule book, why don't you tech for that? And if you're not going to, it shouldn't be in there.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty simple. So, I mean, it shouldn't be there as a tool to use, a discretionary tool, if and when you need it. I mean, it's one of those things that if you're, if there's 430 is the weight, right? That's the maximum weight. So, I mean, somewhere along the line, because there was a big argument over that.
Right.
There was guys saying, if they change it, I'm done. Well, okay.
And I don't want to play devil's advocate, and I hate to even say this because it's not really in what we're talking about, but checking CCs on a UAS cart is going to be a little bit of a project, right? It's going to take some
well,
work.
it's not CCs. I mean, it's bore and stroke, right? I mean, so
but you're still going to have to, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, okay, I'm just throwing stuff out there. Track width, air cleaners on 206. I mean, just little stuff that's easy. Let's start there, checking that stuff, and then we can progress as we get the manpower and the other stuff to check all this stuff. But let's check something. Right? Let's get started to try to make it better. Because I don't want the guy that's in, if I finish last, I don't want to have any question. I mean, yeah, the top 5 guys are probably better than me, but can we check?
Well, yeah.
Just to make sure. We're supposed to all be playing by the rules, and nobody wants to call anybody a cheater. I know I don't. If I get beat, I get beat. It's like, I need to make myself better. But if somebody does get caught, it's like, shame on you.
Especially in the predator deal. I mean, it's bad enough anywhere, but but seriously, you're right. I mean, I get what you're saying on that, but the whole bottom line is that is part of the issue. I think that is, if you're gonna follow him, you're I'm
apparently getting a full teardown next race. Good thing I'm not going to be there.
Well,
you know what, Jason? If you want to tear my stuff apart or have Chris, I'll do it, man, just to have Chris take 10 minutes and come over and look at my stuff just to get started.
Well, let me just say, you're lucky Lippy's not here.
Yeah.
Because he feels very strongly about this. Yeah. I mean, he's got some thoughts about it too,
Yeah.
But
no, I'm game, man. When everybody wants to make an example out of me or whatever, check my stuff.
So track width is so really all that is
I don't know.
I don't know if there is, right?
I don't know either.
But it's either a go no go gauge, right? It either fits or it doesn't.
62 is the limit.
There you go. I mean, it's not rocket science there, but and do we have a fuel meter?
I don't know. Jason, I know you're screwing with me, but I get your point. But if you need some help, I mean, my old man said he'll help. If you need tech tools, he'll buy them. Or help do it, or there's resources out there, and I'd be willing to help, get people on board. I know Chris Hatch is.
Yeah, but Chris Hatch is excellent. Yeah. But you can't not have racers teching stuff. I mean, it's just not going to fly.
You got to have a check and a balance with that. He knows that, and he said that. But
yeah, I mean, even though I'm way confident that he would never do that, it just. That eliminates any chance or any thought of any of that.
So we don't have a fuel tester at Salem, but I think Lippy does, right? Didn't they?
I think they're working on one, or they've got one, or whatever. But you're right.
It's a whole thing. I'm just wishing we could get there, because I don't know if that's going to help build cart count. If people know there's some consistency, and I know we're still trying to build, and I know Jason's still new, so. Whatever we as racers can do to help him make things better by helping out or using the resources that we all have. I mean, a lot of these guys know a lot of people and do a lot of things. So if we can just reach out a little bit and help, and I know it's easier said than done.
To have busy. Your dad there would be, man, it would be epic, because, I mean, I don't know that he listens to the show, but I mean, I would like to, I mean, he would enforce it like it's supposed to be. I mean, he understands the reasoning behind.
No, you're right. And when he was the race director at the tour and, did all the tech and stuff, he wasn't everybody's favorite person. Let me tell you, there's not too many competitors that liked him. Did they respect him? Yeah, because he made him toe the line, and he was equal across the board, as far as being consistent. Garrett Evans wasn't going to get away with something and then Gary Lewis get whacked for it. That's not how he worked. Everybody knew what the plan was, and everybody's going to get treated the same.
Right, and even if he was a back marker, if he was towing the line, he was going to get it just like if he was a front runner, right?
Well, Chuck Jones just said, Jim's a pro at tech. He's been doing it a long time. It's hard to get stuff by him. Trust me, he knows.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just looked up a couple quotes right here, and it says, rules are meaningless if not consistently enforced. Participants should insist on proper rules enforcement regardless of size or regarded importance. Rules that are included in a rule book must be enforced or not included as a rule. Passionate racers supporting rule principles are the bedrock of rules enforcement.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think I don't know, you guys can call me crazy. It's just my opinions, but just say for my class LO206, let's take a coffee can, air cleaners, fuel, tire softener, carburetor jets, whatever it is. Throw all those things in a coffee can and pick one out before the main. Hey guys, after the race, this is what we're checking. It's easy. You're not doing everything, but at least you're starting on something.
right. Or you could pull the top 3 and just have them draw right then and there.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
as soon as
very
they're
true.
done, hey, what do we think? Well, okay. So that way nobody has any idea what we're doing.
Right.
And they're not going to, it's just, really, and I don't know that and I want to make it clear here. There is no accusation of anything.
No.
We're just saying before it does potentially get out of hand.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. Like, is Chris Hatch and Greg Normandin and those guys beating me because they're cheating? No, they're beating me because they're better and they know their stuff better than I do.
Right.
So what's that for me? It's not for me to go cry into my pity pot saying I'm not good enough. It's me to go do my homework and get better.
Right. But
No.
when you have zero tech, that leaves that
the mind wanders.
That leaves that potential thing. But you're right. I mean, and that's what I want to say. I don't want it to ever be where if you're fast, like it is pretty much now, right? If you're fast, for the most part, the first thing is, he's got to be cheating or whatever, whatever.
That's racer mentality, though.
Don't want that.
No.
I mean, first and foremost, it should be,
Well,
hey,
we
the
don't need that.
guy's doing his homework, right? That's why he's bloody fast. He's working harder than you. And 9 times out of 10, that's what it is.
Right. No, absolutely, I agree.
So, but I just thought, I've been thinking about it. To me, it's very simple. I mean, but I think what it is, it's like what you just said about your dad. Not a lot of guys. He wasn't really a favorite, and that is the tough part.
And that's not easy for everybody to want to do.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
But is it good for the sport at the end of the day?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. So it's catch-22.
Yeah. And this, this isn't, this was just, I just found this, and I thought this was an interesting thought, too. You could tell me, but it says, this is recreational racing. Safety and respect for competitors, fans, promoters, and officials is fundamental to the success. Racers and crews are reminded that we are guests of the racetracks and that we should be respectful of our hosts' decisions and procedures, and we should all leave our pit area trash-free. All teams should carry containers to remove their trash and any waste fluids.
Well, that's like common sense, right? I went over and cleaned up. We pitted over, kind of by where Renee pits on those pads. But it was raining a little bit, so we rolled our stuff over by the exit of the track, and we just kind of pitted over there. But when we left, I went and picked up everything, paper towels from wiping stuff off, and there were some hot dog wrappers, and there was probably stuff there that wasn't there when we got there. But
right.
How long did it take me to pick it up?
But that's what I'm saying. But the key phrase here is this is recreational racing, and safety and respect for competitors, fans, promoters, and officials is fundamental to success.
Yep. Right.
That's just
well, I'm the first guy that's gonna get into somebody, and go over after the race and apologize. It's just like that's what you do, right?
That's what you should do.
Well, it's what you should do, right? Because that's sportsmanship, and you got to race with the guy next week, and race car drivers have some of the best memories on the planet.
Oh yeah,
somebody takes you out, you're not going to forget it, whether it's a week later or a year later.
Right. Well, Stephen Chase at the Boop said something to me that I won't forget. And he says, honestly, he goes, I don't care if somebody's slow or not, right? You still don't have to touch them to get by them. It's your job to set them up to make the pass in order to get by them. But he says, and that's the way I try to roll. It's my job to get by them cleanly without touching. I don't care if they're blocking or down on the bottom, whatever. That's on them. But It doesn't mean I get to a free pass to go plow them to get by. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, I think for me, Terry, one thing that was harder with kart racing than the big car stuff is, you know, and I wish I would see it more, is if you're going into turn 1 and you got somebody on the outside of you, don't run a qualifying lap down the backstretch. You know, give them a cart's width by the wall. So if they got the cojones to run upstairs, give them a space to run upstairs. Don't run a qualifying lap and drive them into the wall.
Well, yeah, because it's too late. They're already there, right? That's racing etiquette, I think, is what that is.
Right, and it's going to help things be better. And I'm not saying pull over and let them go by, but, you know.
I know exactly what you mean.
Give them some room, you know, because I'm going to hit somebody before I hit the wall. I'm going to turn left into somebody before I run into the wall and flip my go-kart over because they didn't give me, you know, room on the outside.
Yeah.
So it would help.
Yeah, absolutely it would. But, you know, so
Jason says don't try to win on turn 1.
Well, you know, and really, that is the most unbelievable issue that there is, right? I mean, guys with, you know, way more experience than you need to have to think that, but 20 laps. Wait, we're going 20 laps. Mm-hmm. So does it matter if I lead in turn 1? No.
Right.
Have they been won there? No. Have they been lost there? A ton. Yeah. So, you know, it just goes. I mean,
right. Well,
like I said, I just think I just thought it was something that you know we should talk about. I mean, personally, I think everybody knows my thoughts on the cheating thing. I just don't understand it.
Well, I think it's etiquette too. You know, it just comes down to etiquette. Same thing when you're on the track, and I'm not trying to tell everybody how to race because that's not my job. But if your go-kart is pushing really bad, don't sail it into a turn under somebody because you know what's going to happen. Your go-kart's going to push, and you're going to slam them.
Right.
You know, if you can't, when I get under somebody, I don't drive in there as hard as I can and use them to go around the corner.
Well, no.
If I want to get under somebody, I need to make sure that my cart's handling good enough that I can run the bottom and get by them without, you know, giving them a door shot on the way by.
Well, here's a question for you. So if your cart is pushing like a dump truck in heat 1 and you don't do anything and you come to run heat 2, what do you think's going to happen? How's your cart going to work?
Right.
Is it going to push like a dump truck or is it going to miraculously change? So, I mean, if you've got an issue, you've got to do something.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, right, wrong, or change something.
Right.
But don't come back out there and try to, you know, do the same thing.
No, and don't be too proud to go ask people for help. I do it all the time. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing right now. What can you do to help me? And if they tell you something and you feel like it's worth it, go try it.
Right.
If not, pick something yourself and try it.
Right. I mean, and why would anybody lie to somebody and give them wrong information anyway?
Etiquette.
I mean, it's just. I mean, it's just not.
You know what? But like Jason says, the Speedway guys, I think the whole
They're awesome.
Speedway family is.
They are awesome.
I mean, there's not. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that is not somebody that I could go up and talk to and be like, "Hey, man, how's it going? How's your weekend?" And everybody's just like cool.
Totally.
Nobody's fighting and throwing helmets and
that's what I mean. And you know, there's nothing. There's no secrecy. I mean, if you were, I mean, there is at the bigger clone stuff. I mean, you know, you're not gonna get to see what people are doing to the tires.
right.
I mean, again, I don't know what the big deal is, right? I mean, just you don't know how much prep they're using. You don't know anything. So if you see them grinding, doing whatever, it really doesn't matter to me. But
I mean, I kind of get that because if you've spent a year putting in the work and figuring something out, are you just going to tell somebody in 2 minutes what they need to do to be the same as you after you've taken a year to figure it out?
Well, and every driver's different, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
sure.
Your setup's not going to be the same as you know, Ronnie Cox's or whatever. You're not going to like. I mean, and you got to have the whole thing: tires, gear, all that.
There's just something to be said about doing your own homework and then getting. There's a difference between getting help and somebody telling you what to do.
Yes, there is.
Chris Hatch gave me some setup numbers. Are they going to be exactly the same for me as they are for him?
Well, you don't know, number one, yet. They might
try it.
Sure.
But I'm not guessing that I'm going to go rail past him and, you know, win the world over.
You know, and I don't know how any clear I can say this, but, I mean, until – and that's why it's so important that you try things and learn something, because until you have your own belief system about how things operate, you're never going to know what's BS or what isn't.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, you've got to have your own understanding of what's happening. You know, like, boy, I really like that idea, you know, whatever. But if you just, you know, you don't know what to believe, then, I mean, that's why you've got to read and understand and find out, you know, not just what are you running, whatever. You got to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, how the change works on it. And so when people tell you, hey, ask them why. Why are you working on the front end and not the back end? Or why do you don't just take that answer and go back and say, oh, okay, because he told me to do it.
Right. Well, a couple weeks ago, I asked Justin Beard about those steering wheels. I don't know if you've seen that new steering wheel I have, one of those Eliminator jobbies. Anyway, I'm like, do you like that? He's like, dude, once you try it, you're not going to want to go back. So I went and spent the money, bought one. Dude, it's the best thing I've ever – it's so comfortable. It made such a difference for me.
Now, what is it?
It's an Eliminator wheel. So I know Renee uses them. Eric uses the kind of same thing. So it's on a pivot, almost like bicycle handlebars. So it rolls, and you actually push and pull on the wheel as opposed to turning it. It's just it's awesome. I like it. You'll have to check it out.
Wow.
It
so
sounds
when
weird.
when you turn in, you actually.
So instead of using your shoulders when you turn, you're actually like you're throwing a punch almost is the motion that you use because it kind of rolls. It's awesome.
But does the steering wheel still turn?
Yeah, a little bit, but it kind of goes at an angle.
Interesting.
It's just it was really comfortable.
Well, that's how you steer a motorcycle, really. They teach you in the class that if you're going into your turn, you actually push on the handle, and it really does make a difference.
Huge difference. I mean, I was tired after last weekend, but nothing like the one before. And Alan was the same thing. He bought one too, and he's like, "This is the best $90 we ever spent."
Well, when you're running 10 degrees of caster, I mean, it's gonna be heavy. No, I'm kidding.
Right. No, you're right.
But no, that's so there you have it. That's my personal take. I mean, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's how I feel about it. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty simple. We here at the Northwest Race, I mean, it's merely just an opinion, and it's a thought. I mean, we're not saying that people are dumb that don't believe it or whatever. It's just basically we're just thinking. Well, even here, we may or may not agree on certain things, and that's okay. It's just, hey, we want to get your mind turning in the right direction, and but most of all, that's it. We want to make it so it's fun. I mean, nobody wants to come down to these things and go, geez, I mean, they're not going to come if it's drudgery, right? God, I got to go run against this guy again. He's just freaking. He's just driving me crazy. If you need to go say something to somebody, I mean, there's a tactful way to do it and a way to not attack somebody, and make them just say, hey, here's, is there, what's up? Can I help you? I mean, whatever. I mean, but.
Well, that was my whole thing when I got back into this is I'm not coming out to set the world on fire. I wanted to get back into racing. It's fun. I know a lot of the people that do it that I enjoy being around. We were talking to Chuck Jones, I think, last Saturday, and winning came up, and I'm like, I just want to have fun. He's like, you're a liar, and it's like, okay, you're right, because I get pissed when I don't win, but because
you're competitive,
right?
Yes, I mean,
but I still want to have fun. That's number one. I'm not here to go fight people and piss everybody off. I enjoy what I do, just being around everybody, learning and having fun and trying to beat Chris Hatch. I mean, what else do you want to do?
And I just was thinking this. I know this because I'm so glad Jeremy Means is on here tonight. But because I remember there were 3 years ago when he first was getting started, whatever. There were a lot of people not happy with how. But I just got to say, over the last, I mean, he was gone a little bit last year, but I mean, I've watched him so far this year. And Jeremy, I mean, I just got to tell you, man, you have come so far in reading the race, understanding where people are, and when you can throw a flag and when you can. I mean, I can't even begin to describe how much he's improved and how awesome. I mean, the shows have been really good. The yellows have been when they're needed, not just thrown. I mean, it's just I just think people don't realize what a big difference the flagger makes in these events. And he, Jeremy, you've been doing just a super, super killer job. I mean, it's just unbelievable how far you've come in that. I mean, it's awesome. So I just wanted to make that clear because I know he took a lot of heat. He took some beatings. I mean,
well, that's another
where I
spot
made him feel bad, you know. And I mean, and boy, I mean, he's just. It makes a difference. I don't care what anybody says. A lot of people say they don't, but the flagger is a big part of the show. Not only is he a showman, but he's got a.
It's another spot where you don't always.
Yeah, you got to you got to know and read and understand. And I'm just saying we're lucky to have him there because he does a damn good job. I mean,
pretty lucky with everybody down there. Honestly, all
right.
Jason's people are fantastic. They don't talk down to the racers. It's just everybody's shown respect, so it makes it way more fun for me. I know that.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I needed to put that out there because really, really, really good. So, well, here's what I'm going to tell you guys. I mean, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to go to work on this, and hopefully it works out. But I'm going to try and get Chris C on the show next week. I'm going to do my best to do that. So, I don't know if you can do that or not yet, but if I have to record it, whatever. But that's the deal.
Are we doing a turkey edition?
Wednesday?
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but that would be cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, I plan on it, but when is Thursday Thanksgiving or yeah. I mean, if I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm planning on it, but
I like brown gravy, by the way.
Okay.
So
all right. Well, I don't know. Is Thanksgiving on Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it probably won't be cooked, but well, I got the pizza here tonight.
I know it's fantastic too. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we missed Lippy. Lippy, I hope you're tuned in. I didn't see you tuned in, but wow. Brian is Squinty in the house. Brian, where are my stickers? These guys are they're ready to mob me for them, and yeah. And if you got a bigger one, I think Michelson needs one too. Whatever. So
yeah, we were gonna. I'm putting this new cool body thing together, so it's gonna be
pretty cool.
It's gonna be unlike anything. So yeah, I want to work with Brian and get some stuff set up.
Stay tuned. So we'll have results from this coming weekend's Salem Speedway, and don't forget the flat track bikes are there. And then next week, the 26th, 27th, the Ford Focus Midgets are going to be in town. What a great Thanksgiving weekend we got planned there for the races at Salem Speedway. And I was just going to put out there for you guys to just kind of mull around. Maybe what should happen is Jason and those guys should get together at WHR Motorsports and say, hey, how about we do this? You come to one of ours, and we'll all come up to one of yours, and we kind of
do it on an off weekend.
Yeah, or every other or something, where people can, because they run on Sundays. So, maybe it's something where, hey, we come run yours and you come run ours, and then the numbers go up for everybody. And I think that might be potentially a cool thing.
And we talked about carpooling, right? Because that's Monroe's a jaunt.
It is a jaunt.
But, a couple guys got enclosed trailers. I can get a ton of go-karts in my trailer. So it would be to split the gas and go have some fun. Absolutely, man. So that might be a thought, something to think about. But anyway, appreciate you guys being on the show tonight, tuning in. It's always awesome. Man, Brian Esquinia, Joe Ransom, BLG North. Zippy said hi too. Jason Harton. You remember Zip? No. Crewed on all Sayers stuff. And yes. He said, hey. Wow, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Kyle Keenan's going to be back. He had a great time there, which is really, really cool. So just good stuff, man. If you guys haven't been to Salem Speedway, you need to come down and check it out. It's worth it. Hopefully the numbers are there. I won't see everybody, so I hope everybody has a good show and runs well. Yeah, absolutely. But thanks for tuning in, Rocket. Congratulations on your new title. So you're still a champ. He said, I'm 15 minutes from Monroe. Yeah. We'll see you in Salem. Yeah, we will. So, guys, appreciate you. And we are going to be heading out. Good stuff. Don't forget,
You know when the races are this weekend, the 26th, 27th. Check it out. You can go to www.salemspeedway.wix.com/Salem Speedway 1 to get the points. They've got the new point standings up there and all the information about what you need. Don't forget the registration for the fart carts. You got 14 days, and then he goes to the waiting list. You will not be called. You will not be waited for. He'll just move on and go on to the list, so make sure you do that. BK9, pre-registration for the UAS Juniors. Make sure there's only 2 registered. They need to have 6. Make sure you do that if you want to run.
Pay up.
Yeah, and if you've paid up, get on the guys that haven't. Make them pay up. So we'll see everybody.
Terry.
Yeah.
If somebody's running you hard down low,
oh, baby.
What do you got to do?
You got to go upstairs.
There we go.
We love you, man. Have a good week.
See ya.
We'll see you Saturday.